In 1974, the world believed this fight was already decided before the first bell even rang. George Foreman was the most feared man in boxing. Undefeated. Relentless. A walking knockout machine who had crushed every opponent in his path. He had destroyed Joe Frazier. He had demolished Ken Norton. Two men who had beaten Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali, they said his time was over. They called him old. They called him slow. They said the fire that once made him the greatest had finally burned out. Experts predicted a short, violent ending. Fans watched with worry, believing they were about to witness Ali's final humiliation on the world stage. The fight was set deep in Africa, in Zaire, far from Las Vegas lights and American comfort. The heat was brutal. The pressure was unbearable. Yet Ali walked into that ring smiling. No fear. No doubt. No excuses. While the world saw a mismatch, Ali saw something else. An opening. A moment. A destiny waiting to be claimed. That night in Zaire, Muhammad Ali didn't just fight George Foreman. He challenged power with intelligence. He challenged strength with strategy. And he prepared to shock the entire world, forever. The fight had a name that sounded more like a warning than an event: the Rumble in the Jungle. Set in 1974, deep in Zaire, it wasn't just a boxing match. It was a global spectacle, watched by millions who believed they already knew the ending. George Foreman entered the fight as the most terrifying heavyweight champion the world had ever seen. Young. Powerful. Undefeated. He didn't just beat opponents, he destroyed them. Joe Frazier, once the symbol of toughness, was knocked down 6 times in 2 rounds. Ken Norton, known for breaking Ali's jaw, was crushed even faster. These were the same men who had beaten Muhammad Ali. So the logic seemed simple. If Foreman could demolish them, what chance did Ali really have? Bookmakers favored Foreman heavily. Commentators predicted a brutal knockout. Some even questioned whether the fight should be allowed at all. Muhammad Ali, once the fastest and sharpest heavyweight alive, was now 32 years old. To critics, that meant decline. To doubters, that meant weakness. But Ali saw something different. He arrived in Zaire calm and confident, greeting crowds with laughter and poetry. He joked with reporters. He danced in the streets with locals chanting, "Ali, Bomay! Ali, kill him!" Foreman, on the other hand, trained like a machine. Silent. Focused. Explosive. Every punch in the gym sounded like a threat. While Foreman built power, Ali built belief. While Foreman trained his fists, Ali trained his mind. Before we continue, backhand index pointing down, comment below. Who did you think would win before the fight? Thumbs up like this video if you love boxing history and legendary moments. Bell subscribe for more unforgettable sports stories. Ali wasn't intimidated by Foreman's strength. He had studied it. He knew Foreman loaded up on every punch. He knew the heat would drain energy fast. And he knew that power means nothing when the tank is empty. Ali wasn't planning to run. He wasn't planning to outmuscle Foreman. He was planning to outthink him. To the world, Ali looked relaxed, maybe even careless. But behind the smile was calculation. Every word he spoke, every move he made, every step he took in that African heat, it was all part of something bigger. Ali didn't come to survive. He didn't come to last a few rounds. He came with a plan so risky, so unexpected, that no one could imagine it working. No one, except Muhammad Ali himself. And when the bell finally rang, the world was about to realize something shocking. Ali was never scared. He was prepared. From the very first round, something felt wrong. Not violent, not dramatic, but wrong in a way no one could explain. The bell rang, and instead of dancing, instead of circling the ring the way the world expected, Muhammad Ali did something unthinkable. He backed up. Step by step, Ali leaned into the ropes. And he stayed there. George Foreman charged forward like a storm. Heavy fists. Full power. Every punch thrown with bad intentions. The crowd froze. Ali wasn't running. He wasn't countering the way he used to. He wasn't even trying to escape. He was letting Foreman punch him. Left hooks crashed into Ali's arms. Right hands slammed into his ribs. Foreman swung again and again, determined to end it early, just like everyone predicted. The ropes shook. The sound of punches echoed through the arena. Sweat flew with every impact. Commentators couldn't hide their panic. Ali is taking too many shots. This is dangerous. He can't keep this up. Fans covered their faces. Some turned away, unable to watch what they believed was Ali's punishment. But Ali's face told a different story. He wasn't afraid. Between punches, Ali whispered into Foreman's ear, his voice calm, almost playful. "That all you got, George? You punch like a sissy." Foreman swung harder. He wanted to shut Ali up. He wanted to break him. He wanted to prove that youth and power ruled the ring. Round after round, Foreman kept attacking. Ali stayed on the ropes. The confusion grew. Why wasn't Ali moving? Why wasn't he dancing? Why wasn't he fighting back? What no one realized was that Ali was fighting, just not in the way they understood. The ropes weren't trapping him. They were protecting him. Ali had studied the ring carefully. He knew how much the ropes would absorb. He knew how to roll his shoulders, how to tighten his arms, how to let punches slide instead of land clean. Foreman was throwing bombs. Ali was taking fractions. Every missed punch drained Foreman. Every blocked shot stole his breath. Every heavy swing burned energy he would never get back. And the African heat made it worse. The air was thick. The sweat poured. Foreman's muscles, built for explosive destruction, began to betray him. Between rounds, Foreman breathed heavier. His shoulders dropped. His eyes lost sharpness. Ali noticed everything. In the clinches, Ali leaned his weight on Foreman, whispering again, calm and cruel. "They told me you'd knock me out. I'm still here." The crowd began to sense it. What looked like punishment was actually patience. What sounded like danger was actually control. The commentators slowly changed their tone. "Foreman seems to be working very hard." Ali looks surprisingly composed. Foreman, frustrated, punched even harder. That was the mistake. Power without control becomes exhaustion. Anger without strategy becomes weakness. Ali waited. He absorbed. He calculated. He endured. This wasn't pride. This wasn't arrogance. This was survival mixed with genius. Ali wasn't trying to win the early rounds. He was trying to win the night. By the middle rounds, Foreman's punches slowed just enough to notice. His steps weren't as quick. His breathing wasn't steady. Ali was still on the ropes, but now, something had changed. He smiled. A small smile. The smile of a man who knows the trap is working. The world had been watching Ali take damage. But in reality, they were watching George Foreman spend himself empty. And as the rounds passed, one truth became clear. This wasn't weakness. This wasn't desperation. This was a trap, perfectly designed, patiently executed. And George Foreman was already inside it. By the sixth round, the fight had begun to change. Not suddenly, not loudly, but unmistakably. George Foreman was breathing heavy. The same man who once looked like a force of nature now paused between combinations. His chest rose and fell deeper. His mouth opened wider, searching for air. His punches were still powerful, but no longer sharp. The speed was gone. The snap had faded. Muhammad Ali noticed everything. With every passing second, Ali looked more alive. His eyes were clear. His posture was relaxed. His movements were calm and deliberate. It was the opposite of what everyone expected. Foreman had been built for destruction, not endurance. Every punch he threw earlier had been loaded with full power. Now those punches were returning the debt. The ropes continued to do their quiet work. They bent. They flexed. They absorbed what Ali allowed them to absorb. Ali leaned, rolled, shifted his shoulders just enough to turn clean hits into glancing blows. Foreman hit arms, elbows, ribs, rarely the face. And every time Foreman missed or hit nothing but resistance, his frustration grew. He wasn't hunting anymore. He was chasing. The African heat pressed down harder with every round. Sweat drenched Foreman's body. His muscles, once explosive, became heavy and tight. Ali, meanwhile, conserved energy like a master strategist. In close, he clinched. He leaned his weight. He whispered again. "They said you'd knock me out by now. Is that the best you've got?" Foreman answered with anger, the worst response possible. He swung wide. He loaded up. He spent more energy than he could afford. The crowd began to feel it. The cheers grew uncertain. The noise shifted. Confusion replaced confidence. Commentators who once predicted an early knockout now spoke cautiously. Foreman is slowing down. Ali appears very comfortable. Round 6 ended, and something undeniable was visible in Foreman's corner. Concern. His trainers worked fast, fanning him, wiping sweat, speaking urgently. Foreman stared forward, no longer relaxed, no longer confident. Across the ring, Ali stood tall. No panic. No fear. No wasted motion. This was the moment the fight turned, even if the world didn't see it yet. Ali began throwing short, sharp punches off the ropes. Quick jabs. Fast rights. Nothing reckless, just reminders. Reminders that he was still dangerous. Foreman tried to respond, but his legs told a different story. They didn't move like before. The bounce was gone. The hunter was becoming the hunted. Every time Foreman stepped in, Ali met him, not with power, but with precision. A jab to the face. A right hand down the middle. Then back to the ropes. Ali was controlling the pace now. He decided when to rest. He decided when to strike. He decided when to let Foreman work himself deeper into exhaustion. And still, many didn't realize what was happening. They saw Ali leaning. They saw him absorbing. They assumed he was surviving. But Ali wasn't surviving. He was winning, quietly. Winning by patience. Winning by intelligence. Winning by understanding his opponent better than the opponent understood himself. By the end of the 7th round, Foreman's shoulders sagged. His breathing was loud enough to hear. His punches lacked conviction. Ali's eyes locked onto him. This was no longer a test. It was a countdown. The plan was unfolding exactly as Ali imagined it. Every round had peeled away Foreman's power. Every minute had shifted control. The world still believed strength ruled the ring. Muhammad Ali was proving something else. That sometimes, the greatest victories come not from throwing punches, but from knowing when to throw them. And the moment to strike was coming closer with every breath George Foreman took. Round 8. The bell rang, and something inside George Foreman knew this was his last chance. His chest burned. His legs felt heavy. But pride pushed him forward. Foreman charged, throwing everything he had left, wide hooks, desperate power shots, raw force fueled by frustration. He wanted one punch. One moment. One ending. Muhammad Ali saw it all coming. For 7 rounds, Ali had waited. He had absorbed. He had studied every movement, every weakness, every breath. Now, the waiting was over. Foreman threw a looping right hand. Ali leaned back just inches, enough to let the punch miss. In that split second, Ali stepped forward, and the trap snapped shut. A sharp right hand cut through the air. A lightning-fast left hook followed. Then another right, clean, precise, unstoppable. The combination landed perfectly. Foreman's head snapped back. His legs betrayed him. The power that once terrified the world disappeared in an instant. George Foreman collapsed to the canvas. The undefeated champion was down. Time froze. The referee rushed in and began the count. 1, 2, 3. Foreman tried to rise. His arms trembled. His body refused. The crowd exploded. The arena shook with disbelief, joy, and shock all at once. Fans jumped to their feet. Voices screamed. History cracked open in real time. Ali stood calm in the corner, eyes locked forward, not celebrating, not shouting. He already knew. The count continued. 7, 8. Foreman fell back. It was over. Muhammad Ali had done the impossible. If this moment gave you goosebumps, hit like right now. Comment ALI if you believe this was the smartest fight ever fought. Subscribe for more legendary moments that changed sports forever. The referee waved his arms. Ali raised his gloves. Champion again. Against every prediction. Against every doubt. Against the most powerful heavyweight on earth. The world stood silent for a heartbeat, then erupted. Ali had proven something deeper than victory. He showed that power without patience can be defeated. That strength without strategy can collapse. That intelligence, timing, and belief can rewrite destiny. Foreman sat on the canvas, staring ahead, unable to understand what had happened. He hadn't been beaten by fists alone. He had been outthought. Ali walked toward the ropes, lifting his arms as the chants roared around him. Ali! 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 In that moment, he wasn't just a boxer. He was a symbol. A reminder that age doesn't end greatness. That doubt doesn't defeat belief. That limits are often illusions. Muhammad Ali didn't just regain the heavyweight title that night. He reclaimed his place in history. The greatest comeback. The smartest victory. The night the world learned a new lesson. Muhammad Ali was champion again. And boxing would never be the same. For a moment after the knockout, the world stood silent in disbelief. Commentators struggled to find words. Experts stared at their monitors, stunned. Millions watching around the globe tried to understand what they had just witnessed. Muhammad Ali had done what no one believed possible. He didn't just defeat George Foreman. He dismantled an idea. The idea that raw power is unbeatable. The idea that youth always overcomes experience. The idea that a fighter past his prime has nothing left to offer. Doctors had warned Ali. Analysts doubted him. Critics openly dismissed his chances. They said the punishment would be too much. They said his reflexes were gone. They said he was risking his health, maybe even his life. But that night in Zaire, every prediction collapsed. Ali didn't win by force. He won by understanding. He read Foreman like a book. He turned aggression into exhaustion. He transformed danger into opportunity. The strategy later called the rope-a-dope became legendary, not because it looked impressive, but because it worked perfectly. Ali had trusted his mind when the world trusted Foreman's fists. As the crowd roared and the referee raised Ali's hand, the meaning of the moment began to sink in. This wasn't just a title change. It was a shift in boxing philosophy. Fighters, trainers, and fans realized something fundamental had changed. Brute strength alone was no longer enough. Intelligence, timing, and patience could rewrite outcomes. George Foreman, once seen as unstoppable, was now human. And Muhammad Ali, once considered finished, was reborn. Back in the locker room, Ali smiled, not in arrogance, but in satisfaction. He had trusted himself when no one else did. Around the world, reactions poured in. Some called it the greatest upset in heavyweight history. Others called it the smartest fight ever fought. Young fighters studied the footage. Veterans rewatched it in disbelief. Everyone asked the same question. How did Ali know? The answer was simple and profound. Ali believed in preparation. He believed in patience. He believed in himself. The fight changed how champions were measured. No longer just by knockouts. No longer just by strength. But by adaptability. By intelligence. By courage under pressure. Ali had proven that fear could be managed. That doubt could be overcome. That experience, when paired with belief, could conquer any obstacle. That night in Africa echoed far beyond the ring. It inspired athletes across every sport. It inspired people facing impossible odds. It reminded the world that underestimating someone can be the greatest mistake of all. Muhammad Ali didn't just reclaim a belt. He reclaimed respect. He reclaimed belief. He reclaimed greatness. And boxing was never the same again. Because from that night forward, the sport understood a powerful truth. Strength may win rounds. But intelligence wins wars. Muhammad Ali showed the world something far bigger than boxing. That night in Zaire wasn't just about a title, a knockout, or a championship belt. It was about what happens when belief stands taller than fear. Ali proved that age doesn't define you. Time doesn't erase greatness. And experience, when guided by wisdom, can defeat raw strength. They said he was finished. They said his best days were behind him. They said the world had moved on. Ali answered without arguing. He answered with patience, with intelligence, with courage under the brightest lights. The fight became more than sport. It became a lesson. A lesson that doubt only wins when you accept it. A lesson that limits often exist only in the mind. A lesson that preparation can silence even the loudest critics. Ali didn't just change boxing. He changed how greatness is measured. From that night forward, champions were no longer judged only by power or records. They were judged by heart, by mind, by the ability to rise when the world expects you to fall. Young fighters around the globe grew up watching that moment. Not just the knockout, but the calm, the confidence, the belief behind it. Athletes in every sport learned from Ali. So did people outside the ring. People facing doubt. People told they were too old, too slow, too late. Ali's story became proof that comebacks are real. That intelligence can outlast strength. That patience can overcome pressure. That belief can rewrite destiny. Collision. If Muhammad Ali inspired you, comment greatest below. Thumbs up like this video to honor a true legend of sport and spirit. Bell subscribe and turn notifications on for more iconic stories that shaped history. Ali once said, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." That wasn't arrogance. That was vision. He saw greatness in himself when others couldn't. And then he made the world see it too. Because legends don't fade with time. They echo. They inspire new generations. They remind us what's possible when courage meets conviction. Muhammad Ali wasn't just a champion. He was a symbol of resilience. A voice for confidence. A reminder that true power comes from within. Boxing glove. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time.